Hello and welcome to our live session today. We've had a couple of technical difficulties, but hopefully we're getting those worked out. As always, my producer in the back, Mr. Darren.Waldo, is doing some great things behind the scenes and bringing all this to us. So we want to thank him a lot. And he's gotten his money's worth here over the last few minutes because we had no sound, but now it seems that we're working again and we're back. So welcome to our session, and we encourage you to send in your questions to Coach Waldo, darren.waldo at logan.kyschools.us. So at any time during this, if you have a question, send him the question and we'll be glad to answer it. But we've had a fantastic start to the school year. I know that's cliche, a lot of principals say that, but truly we really have had a great start. Our teachers have done a magnificent job of preparing so that they can maximize their time with the students and in the classroom. Our students have shown up ready to learn and have given us great effort. Very little of anything, no discipline, no anything except for just work and enthusiasm to be here, and so that's been awesome to see, and it really has motivated all of us having the students back in the hallways. It's just great to see them. It's great to have them here. We missed them, and so it's really been a fantastic almost week now. So we're really excited. I need to encourage you to really make sure that the students are doing the work that they need to do when they're not here at school. It's going to be critical that they stay current. So if I'm a Monday, Wednesday student, that on Tuesday I'm doing what the teacher has asked me to do, and then I'm doing that again on Thursday and Friday, because if I don't, I'm not going to be prepared Monday and Wednesday for class, and it'll take us a long time to get through the standards and get through the curriculum, and we just simply don't have that time. So it's going to be imperative that students are doing their work outside of the classroom, and that as parents and guardians that we are ensuring that those students do what they need to do outside the classroom. Now, if we see a student who's not performing the way that they should outside the classroom, we're going to notify you. You're going to be notified that things are not being turned in, or they're not accessing Google Classroom, or they're not spending the time they need to on Summit. We're going to let you know so that we can work with you as a partner to ensure that the students get what they need to move to the next level. Our virtual students are in learning pods. Right before I came over here, I saw a bunch of them in the gym completing a learning pod tonight and doing some placement testing. And so that's been going really, really well as well. Certainly, it's a little different for us. This is the first time we've done a virtual academy or a virtual school, so certainly is a little different. But I think we're starting to get there. It hasn't been without some bumps in the road, but I really believe that we're starting to put the infrastructure in place that's going to allow us to maximize our time with our students, even though it's online, for us to be able to move those students forward. So things here are going really well. We're being able to stay socially distanced. Lunches are going great. We're distanced, but the kids are sitting and are able to visit and talk, and we're able to take them outside and give mask breaks. And so I couldn't be happier with the first week of school. We have been very safe. As you can tell, if you're following any of the reporting that's being done, we're very, very safe here at Lewisburg, and haven't had any cases. And so for us, that's a great thing. It's really a testament to our parents and our students for watching out for one another, making sure that the masks are being worn. You know what? We haven't had any trouble with students wearing masks. Haven't had to get on one of them about keeping a mask on, or about playing with a mask, any of that stuff. They just done a tremendous job, and our nurse Courtney has been phenomenal. Our staff, everybody's taking care of one another and handling business, and so that has led us to be very, very safe here. So really exciting week, very pumped up, very enthusiastic about what's going on. So without further ado, let's talk a little bit, and we'll go and answer some questions, and then we'll go from there.
Number one, please explain how the new school dismissal app is going to work to pick up car riders in the afternoon. Will we still use our paper copy given to us with our number? Some may not have the app on their phone or a way to get the app.
All right, so we purchased this new system for several reasons. One, it's a safety deal. We're able to know exactly, you go in, you set the preferences. So you're going to go in as the guardian, and you're going to tell us whether your student normally rides the bus or normally is a car rider. And then if you make a change to that, the people that are on your list get notified. So if someone makes a change, let's say it was an accident, or they didn't know that Susie had a doctor's appointment, then everybody on that list will get notified, so that there's no confusion. Oh, well, I thought they were going to be a bus rider. Well, no, they're here at the car rider line. So that part of it was important to us, making sure that all of our students get in the right spot, either on the bus or in the car rider line, and with the right person is extremely important to us. As a parent, you trust us to keep your child safe, and certainly car drop-offs, car pickup, bus riding, all of that is a huge part of keeping this kid safe. So we spend a significant amount of money to ensure the safety of our students. It also helps us organize the car rider line. So what'll happen is you'll come in, there'll be a QR code, and if you have a smartphone, you can scan that QR code and it will automatically put you in line. Now, if you don't have a smartphone, or you cannot scan your QR code, then we will have Kelly Lewis will be out there. You will use your the numbers that have been given to you. You don't have to have that paper anymore. That was just temporary. But we will put those numbers, we will manually put those numbers in for you. So Miss Lewis will be out there. She'll manually put those numbers in, and that'll put you into the line. And that will allow us to check your student in and check your student out. You'll also be able to notify us if you're going to pick up your student early, or if you arrive late and you're going to you're going to be there, but you got a doctor's appointment in the morning, and you'll be arriving late, then you can let us know that as well through this program. So it's a great program, but we really need you all to go into it, set your preferences, set it up so that we're ready to go next week, because we will rely on it starting on Monday of next week.
And do you care if I add to that? Whenever people go in, everybody should be checking their email. If we had a school email or an email in Infinite Campus for homes, the email went to that. And if not, those other students are getting a paper copy with a temporary account information. All families need to assign what the dismissal option is for their student. So far, we don't have that many that have logged in yet. And
so we need all of you to do that. We need you to go log in, and we need you to set those preferences
We need you to get it set up. We've sent instructions home. We will be posting some instructions and how-to videos online tomorrow. So you'll have the rest of the week and the weekend to set up your account. But we really need for you to be able to do that and to go in and make time to do it, because one, it's going to help get you out of here earlier and faster in the afternoons. It's going to help us keep your students safe, and it's going to help us organize and ensure that the students get to the right spot in the afternoon. So we need you to help us on that.
My son is in virtual kindergarten. I still have not received important login information, yet there are assignments being posted. Why is this, and will this affect my son's progress?
I've gone in and looked at the kindergarten. We monitor the virtual academy every day. There are assignments posted. The login information has been given to all of the parents and anyone that has called us and asked us for the login information we've gotten. But all the login information has been given at the pods, and there are many assignments on Google Classroom. But we're also giving the option to our kindergarten students of doing some of the virtual work through packets, and because we understand that sometimes for kindergarten students it's important for them to be able to write their letters and be able to actually have that pencil and paper. So we've made that available. We hand out those packets at the pods, and then we take the old ones up at the next pod, and we hand the new ones out. We also, if you're not in a pod, then you can come on Friday. You can give us the packet. We'll hand you a new packet, and then each Friday we'll do that exchange in the afternoon. So there is work there. The login information has been given, and we're moving along. Where the virtual academy is in lockstep with the regular in-person kindergarten. We're doing the same power standards. We're following the same curriculum guide. We're in lockstep. Now, there are things that we can do with an in-person student, naturally, that we cannot do with a virtual student. There is a limitation in terms of virtual versus in-person. And so there are things we can do for in-person students that maybe we can't do as much of for virtual. But in terms of recognizing letters, recognizing numbers, all of those kind of things that you learn in kindergarten, all of that core-based curriculum is being taught both on the virtual platform and in the regular in-person platform. So if there is a specific issue that you're having, certainly give us a call. I'd be glad to talk to you and walk you through it. But everything has been given out, and in fact there are several things. I think we've got some packets here.
The top one was the first week in the second.
Do you just want to talk? Because one of the things is as I've asked my assistant principal, Christy Lucas, to really monitor and oversee the virtual academy, and especially for our younger kids, our K-5 virtual academy kids. And so she's done a tremendous job. So I'm going to let her talk a little bit. Here are the two packets over the last couple of weeks that we've given. As you can see, there's a lot of work. We're on the B's and the P's right now, and we're doing a lot of work with that, and doing some sight words, all the things that we would be doing in our regular classroom.
Ms. Cundiff, who is the virtual teacher for kindergarten, has been working very closely with kindergarten. She has sent home quite a bit of kindergarten literacy things, and they should be able to do everything on here by fall break. It is a lot, but it's being able to sing the alphabet and do things with their name and to write their letters and to recognize sounds and sequence letters. So there's quite a bit to be doing. There's also quite a few math activities. All of those will take quite a while. And then this week, she has sent several things that came directly from kindergarten, because this question also asked, I'm in the kindergarten Facebook group, so I see all the learning activities and progress that in-class students are doing, and I feel as if my son is going to fall behind because he is virtual. But most of these lessons are exactly what they were doing in the classroom. They just
Well, this is the thing that we all need to understand. And I don't, first of all, let me go back to the other question. We are not without fault. There have been bumps in the road that have been our mistakes. We own those mistakes. I told you that, trying to get the infrastructure to work to where, because really we have three things going on. We have a virtual academy happening. We have our in-person students, so the teachers are teaching their in-person students. On the students' off days, they are virtual. And then, but even while they're virtual, we've got other in-person students here. So we're juggling an awful lot of different things. And that's not an excuse, it's just to let you know that there's a lot going on. And so we're not without mistake. But in this instance, we are comfortable with the fact that login information has been given. And we have provided, I know there's work on Google Classroom because I've looked at it all. It mirrors what we're giving out on the packets. And really we're giving the kindergarten, and maybe that's the only grade probably, that we're giving that, because the other ones should know enough about the Chromebook. And so you all are pretty much virtual. But kindergarten, preschool, we've given that option of doing it online, but also doing it with a packet as well. So we're not without fault. We certainly own the mistakes that we've made along the way. We've tried to correct those and try to be very helpful and open and making sure that we're open for questions and things of that nature. But in this instance, feel very strongly that now we have gotten some footing, and assignments are out there, and good assignments that kindergarten students need to be engaged in. But the other part on the second question, and this is just, I don't know any way to do it except for be very truthful and straightforward. There is a difference between virtual learning and in-person learning. And while we might be doing the same, having the same end goal, and we are trying to get all the students to the same ending point, and we're trying to grow all of our students, there are limitations to a virtual setting, especially a virtual setting in the primary grades. There's just some limitations. And so can we do some different activities in our classroom? Absolutely. Can we provide a little more in-depth intervention to the in-person student? Absolutely. There's just having that hands-on and being able to have the community of learners. That's the one thing you miss in a virtual setting. You don't have a learning community. You basically have isolation. I'm with a computer, I'm watching a video, I do a few Zooms, but I don't have that learning community. Well, if you don't have the learning community, a lot of times you're not able to, one, learn from the people that are around you. Number two, you don't have maybe the same activities are not possible in a solo environment versus a learning community type environment. And just oftentimes the learning, the depth of learning might be a little different, or at least the activities that are associated with the learning. But rest assured that in both settings, we are following Kentucky KDE's curriculum. We are following the what we have set as a school as our priority standards, and we are following the curriculum map that was designed and done this summer by Miss Williams and Miss Jenkins. And that's the same thing all the way through. The curriculum maps and our pacing and what we're trying to get the kids to understand as we go along this year is no different. Activities could be. Pacing, as far as virtual students, might be ahead of in-person just because, with in-person you might do different activities, or you might have to go back and reteach, or there's a multitude of reasons that could happen. Vice versa could happen too. But they may not be always at the same point, but what we hope is in May that all of them are at the point that we want them to be as the ending point. So there is going to be difference. You see pictures here of things that we're doing versus what's the virtual students doing. I can tell you there's going to be difference, and there's going to be differences all year. But we are all going down the same road, and we are still trying to get to that same end point.
Another thing we might want to mention is that at the learning pods that a lot of families decided to participate in for virtual learning, that the adult is working one-on-one with the kindergartners, going over a lot, everything that they've been learning for the week. So they are getting some direct instruction from an adult if they decide to come to a learning pod. Yeah,
the learning pods are really important. They're voluntary. I certainly, we don't mandate and can't mandate really that a virtual student come to learning pod, but I can tell you the learning pods are really important. The learning pod allows us to check in with that student face to face for 2 hours every week. It allows us to see where they're at, to go over the learning that has happened and that will happen. So that's an important thing. It allows us to speak with the student and clarify any misconceptions or misunderstandings. And so it just allows you as a teacher and as a school to help that student stay on pace. I can't tell you how much I would recommend making learning pods a priority. I can tell you that if AJ was going to do virtual school, the learning pod would be a top priority. We wouldn't schedule anything on a learning pod day that would require him to miss the learning pod, because that's how important I think they are if you're really going to stay on pace. And certainly there's some extenuating circumstances. We know some families, just because of the makeup and underlying health conditions and stuff, just can't do it. And that's certainly understandable. We don't want to put anybody at risk. And so you've got to do to your own comfort level. But I can tell you that the learning pods are important. And so if you can, we encourage you to do it and to make it a real priority, because even the last 2 or 3 weeks, we've had some really good success in our learning pods and really have been able to answer. And the great thing is, we're not only answering questions that the student has, we're answering questions the parent has. So the parent gets to see that teacher every week and ask the questions, and if they're confused about something, we can clarify that confusion. Now, one of the things that I've asked Miss Lucas to do, and she's making this a priority, one of the high priorities that we have, is that she will be attending a great number of those learning pods. So she's going to be out there. She's going to be able to answer questions that the parents have. She's going to be able to kind of monitor what's going on. And so there's another wonderful opportunity to get clarity. And so I got to encourage you to be part of that if you can. Again, that goes back to that learning community that we just talked about for the in-person student. At least for a short time each week, they have a little learning community, and that's really, really important for moving students forward.
If you would like to join a pod after reconsidering it, please contact me here at school. It's Christy Lucas. Ms. Darlene will give me a message, and I'll get right back to you, I promise.
And sometimes I get asked, do we have to be at every pod? You don't have to be at every pod. We would, but again, we would like for you to make it a priority. If you decide that, hey, I want to be in a learning pod, we'd like for you to make it a priority. And I was disappointed. There was a few middle school students that have, that weren't able to attend their pod or didn't plan to attend their pod. And I'm just going to say that I can't emphasize enough how important it's going to be to take advantage of that opportunity if there's not some other underlining reason that you just absolutely can't.
Okay. Do virtual academy students have to attend a Zoom every week?
Yes. Virtual academy students are required to attend a Zoom. Where right now, I feel like that we kind of think that that's optional. It's really not. They have to attend a Zoom. If now all the Zooms will be recorded, they can watch it. I've asked our teachers that if they don't attend the Zoom, that there is some alternate assignment. So they'll watch it and they'll answer some questions. But we have to have contact with the student. We cannot get a student through a school year, take them through the curriculum, and not have contact with that student. We got to have contact. I don't care if you're in a college course. If you're taking it online every week, you have to be online, and you have to be either on Blackboard or on Zoom as part of that class. There's very few educational opportunities to where you don't have any face-to-face meeting, and certainly in a K-12 situation and a K-8 situation, it's not ideal to go through and try to take kids through a pretty tough curriculum and accomplish the standards if we don't have weekly contact with the student. And to be honest with you, that's probably not enough. But if we could get them in a pod and get them to attend a Zoom, those things could really benefit those students and could allow us to move them forward at an accelerated rate.
When are the assignments due for virtual academy students?
Virtual academy students, all assignments are due Sunday at 3 o'clock. About 3 o'clock on Sunday is when they're due. In terms of hero points, students get 25 points a week, and there is basically 5 points a day. And so if they have turned in all their assignments by Sunday at 3 o'clock, they get all their points for that previous week. If they don't, or if they only turn in a portion of it, then there's a reduction of points or no points. So that's that's us trying to motivate them to do that. The other part of it is I've got to go back and just reemphasize that it is critical that the work is done and turned in, and that you are showing us that you that you have accomplished what we need you to accomplish, that you are proficient in the power standard. Because if you don't, it's not last year. It's not something to where we're going to say, okay, well, we only got half the work, so we really don't know. But and I'm not saying we did that last year, but what I'm saying is that there is more accountability this year than anything you experienced virtually last year. And so if you don't do the work, then you cannot expect to go to the next level. It's just you've got to show us that you know what's going on, what you're doing, and that you're proficient in the power standards. Otherwise, and the only way we know it is through the work we assign. There's no other way for us to know it. We have 3 tests for our virtual students. You're going to have 3 tests a year, and we're going to have the work. And that's how we have to make determinations. So you've got to show us the work, and it's got to be turned in, and you got to stay current on it. So that's the important thing. And so I encourage you for you all to get that done. Now I will say this,
Sorry.
on the packet work for the kindergartners, we're passing that out in their pods, and then it's not due to the next pod. So it is, you know, if a kindergarten student has a pod on Tuesday and we hand you a packet, then you would bring that packet back the following Tuesday. So they're on a little different schedule than the rest of our virtual students. But even our virtual and in-person student, the work is due Sunday at 3:00. So the out of school work is due Sunday at 3.
You said there would be a QR code to scan for check-in, check-out for students. When I pick up my car rider in the afternoon, where will the QR code be located to scan with the app?
Hey, that's a great question. I'm not sure. We're kind of looking at different locations. We've got to figure out the best place so that we don't really create a bottleneck. My first inclination is to put it somewhere, of course, as you first pull in, but we got to put it far enough that the first 2 or 3 people aren't stopping and we get a backlog there. So it'll be probably somewhere around where that family resource sign is. It might be a little further down. It might be about it'll probably be right in there, to be honest with you, because it's got to give us enough time that we can get the students in line and get them outside, so when you pull up, we're ready for them to go out. So it's a you know, we got to put it in exactly the right spot, but then we've got to keep traffic off the road to the best of our ability. So my thought right now is that it's going to be somewhere close to that family resource sign, maybe a little in front of the preschool parking lot. Miss Lucas is going out there probably tomorrow to dig a hole.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bringing the post hole diggers. She's got the gloves. She's excited.
Yeah, there will be a live stream. Just watch.
Yes. I think an 8-foot hole probably would be good enough to put that QR code.
Yeah, you're only 6 foot.
I think, yes.
I think 8 foot would work. That's a great idea. I like it. Okay. Are we ready for the next question?
Yeah, I say let's go.
My child is in the 6th grade. I understand that the teachers may not have time to record separate lessons, but I was just wondering if, since the teachers are having to teach the same lessons to two different groups of kids at school, would it be possible for them to record one of those lessons and post it for the virtual children each week? It would be much easier if they had some instruction to go with their work. Math is especially hard to do on your own.
It is, and you are correct on that. We are trying. There is some privacy issues in terms of filming while kids are in the room. So we just got to make sure that the camera's on the teacher and the board and that stuff. So we do have some of those concerns. I do know that some of the teachers are recording lessons. They're actually recording them to an empty classroom, so they do the lesson on one of their breaks. They are recording because I've actually walked in on one of them today, so I know that they are. And I know there is a plan for that to happen. That was all part of our initial plan, is to ensure that there is almost a library of videos for a parent to be able to go and say, oh, okay, here we're going to be multiplying fractions, and we have some lessons up about multiplying fractions that the parent could watch so that they could help the child, and the child could watch in order to help with the understanding part of it. So we do have plans to get that library up and going. I know that the teachers are working, and they do have filmed some lessons. And I will. That's one of those things that Miss Lucas will write down, and I will go check to kind of see where we're at on that. But be on the lookout. We do understand it's really hard in math. We understand that. I encourage you now, if you're looking on Google, if you go to Khan Academy, There are some Khan Academy videos sometimes that will that will kind of help explain some of the concepts that we're doing on for our virtual students. But we are going to be uploading lessons, and you know, I'll have to go look exactly where we're at on that. But we do understand that parents are going to struggle a little bit, especially with the math, and that we're going to have to be there to support them. And one of the ways that we can do that is to record those lessons. So that's a great question, great point, and we'll check on that.
One of the good things about Summit, though, is it already has some videos embedded in it that would be helpful for middle school.
Yeah, it does. It has some great, all of that, all of the different playlists, what they call the playlists. So there is PowerPoints. There are some Khan Academy videos. There are some other types of videos. There's some reading. So there are some resources within Summit that are embedded in it for both the parent and the student to be able to help understand some of the concepts that we're teaching. So that's an important, you know, a great resource. But by the same token, we understand that our teachers are going to have to upload videos as well and make videos of their lessons. So we're aware of it. We're going to get it done, and I'll kind of check exactly where we're at.
That is all of the questions right now.
Okay. Well, I can tell you that, you know, just kind of reiterate, we've had a great start to the week, or a great start to school. It's been a week, almost a week, and we're so happy to have the kids back. We encourage you to keep calling us, keep emailing us, keep texting us. We're not without fault. We understand that. Please understand on our end, there's a lot going on. We're trying to juggle a lot of different things. And so we're going to make some mistakes. There's some things where we've done them, and maybe the parent overlooks it, or the student doesn't know how to do it, and we're more than happy to help in that regard as well. We have to work together. The only way this thing is going to work, whether you choose to go in person or virtual, the only way it's going to work is that we work together and that we accomplish this thing as one. If all of us are pulling in different directions, this thing will not work. So we need you to be our partner, and we need you for all of us to be pulling in the same direction. So if there's something we can do, if there's something that we've overlooked, I think I love the last question. Is there some videos that we can post? Well, absolutely there is, and this was part of the plan, and we're going to check on it, and maybe we need to get those videos done a little quicker. So I can tell you, though, this. I want everybody to, our teachers are working themselves silly. They are really giving it everything they got. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to organize, and this staff and these teachers are giving you everything they got. So bear with us, but we're here to partner with you, and we're here to support you. Stay safe, and we look forward to being with you next time. Thank you.